The first picture I want to talk about is The Veil. You know, that was in the 70s. It was 78. I worked with a guy called Serge Krulikoff. He was the photographer, and we did it on a girl called Lorraine Chase, who was like a famous actress at the time. And it was really a technique of using weaving to create something very, very intricate and really detailed. It was quite an intense time of creativity amongst a few of us, you know, like Robert Roberto Trello-Sorpi and all different people, Andrew College. Everyone was trying to do things a bit different. So for me, it was like the starting point. Here, what we did is we did a very graphic collection. We called it the Mystique, where they were all wigs, really, really flat wigs, and really cut deep and very uneven into it. Once the photos were done, I took them to a retoucher and really got them punched up and made graphic, and all one side made black, and it was very, very fresh for the time. It was very different. And it then showed me that, hold on, I can take photographs now and then play with them after. And I think a little bit of my frustration was that it was never really capturing how I saw the hair, but capturing how the photographer saw the hair. And then I realized that I had to be the photographer as well. And then we came to the 90s, when you saw Calvin Klein and you saw all the kind of ads on TV, white background, people moving around. We had gone through the 80s and everybody was just cutting and leaving and scrunching and whatever, and everyone had forgotten how to blow dry. And the standard of the way they did it had dropped completely because there had been a lack of it for about 4 or 5 years. So we instigated by doing a collection. We got all the hairdressers very excited about it and wanting to learn the technique, which really everyone that was young at the time saw it as an old-fashioned thing, but all of a sudden it became new and modern again. Getting that kind of very fresh, natural light kind of feel. Very commercial hairstyles. In fact, it's really, really commercial, but done on beautiful girls, modern clothes. It looked really strong. Since I've kind of I took over doing TG, and Sasha took over doing Tony and Guy, which, I think she's done a fantastic job. It's just beautiful work coming out all the time. But for me, it was a new challenge to really get behind TG. Here's a shot that's really kind of really worked strongly with Jiv, who's our stylist. But it shows a much more coutured kind of thing. We've done a lot of different textures and effects with the hair, and almost like making it like cobwebs and stuff all over the hair. It's just everybody adding a little piece. I've got Nick Irwin and Akush, Bodhi. They've been working with me very strongly, especially with some of this fantasy work. Graffiti hair with graffiti makeup is something that me and Pat worked on. The hair is actually like that. Then I got a friend of mine, a designer, that worked in on graphics and put more stuff on top. It's almost like you've put, in part of it, like you've sat a cup down and it's left a ring on it, But it allows you to really do some creative stuff, and that's the kind of thing I like doing. Here again, we worked on location, and it was done for an American magazine. Fantastic place, and it's an old embassy, but they've kind of left it. The walls are just kind of, crumbling away, but the colours that you get out of it are amazing. They've got all these old kind of bits of furniture in there, as you can see, and then we've just perched a girl on so she looks a bit like a bird. Her hair's made to look like a bird. My wife, with my daughter in fact, Georgina and Pat, did the makeup there with all the feathers. So then that instigated the hair, because she had just had a short haircut, and we made it look like she had 2 little horns or little wings or whatever. And it worked out great. I wanted to do things with lenses, so you could maybe put a lens in front of the eye and the eye would look bigger, or by the lips, or a little bit of the hair. It was actually for a show where we'd have these lenses and you could go along and you'd see the detail of hair. It didn't really kind of work out, but that's how the vision was at the beginning. Here I worked with a guy called Kei Kugami, who's a fantastic fashion designer. But we made the outfits and then we played around. So it's an interesting shot. I've got myself a new place. We're in it, which it's called the Library. It was opened by Irwin Tate. So it's called the Irwin Tate Library, believe it or not, but we're not going to call it that. But we've called it Mascolo Space. It's a space for me and Pat to have a new creative environment where it can just give us the next step of what we're going to be doing. So, we'll see where it takes us.